It's Linda from Go for the Joy on a rainy evening. I just came back from a late evening walk. I was sitting down and I thought, I need to get out in the fresh air. So I went for a walk around the block in the rain, very light rain. Anyway, a couple of things. Yes, my hair's way shorter. Feels so much lighter. I said to the hairdresser, just brushing the shoulders, and I think she heard me say just above the shoulders, so a little bit shorter than I wanted, but it'll grow. Meanwhile, it's really easy to look after. So this afternoon, I met up with a friend for coffee, and I took my cards along, and I said, and she says, "Oh, goody, you brought your cards," because she's intuitive as well. So I said, "Well, what do you want to talk about? What should we draw cards on?" So she said, "Well, I'd like to know what's going on with Canada, like what's Canada's role on the world stage for the betterment of the world," she said. It took us a little while to get to the question, so as I was shuffling the cards, we kind of came to that. As we'd been talking about Carney, and we've been talking about Trudeau, and of course the other T word. So I pulled all these cards and I set them aside. When I close the deck, I thought I'm going to put them on the bottom so I can grab again, and hopefully I'll be able to see the cards. I don't remember what order they were in, but I will try and figure it out. And see, I just figured one out, was the very last card. Um, and so I'll see if I can sort it out. So, okay, I think I got it. So the first card I picked was Bust Out of Your Cocoon. This is for Canada, busting. So think about it. Aren't we busting out of our cocoon right now onto the world stage? As we've been, quietly Canadian, quietly, we're not braggarts. So we've just been quietly doing our thing in Canada until it comes to hockey or the Olympics, and we can be pretty rousing about stuff. But that's what we were doing. And so the other card was um, the next card, I think, was Accept What Is. So in order to move forward, then you have to accept the situation that you're in. That's not showing up very well, is it? Whoa, whoa, whoa. There, accept what is. So there's a peace stuff there. There's the world. There's lots of water, lots of movement in this card. Okay, so when you're accepting what is, then you're open to the possibilities. So you're not railing against anything. You're just, okay, this is where we are right now, and what happens next? What's the next path? The next choice? And lots of this might also be good for you to think about in your own personal life as too. So the next one was tune out. Frig, I'll get this right yet. Tune out distractions. So if I can get it in the right spots, you see there's so when I saw this card, I thought, oh, canoe in the lake in this kind of bottle with the white doves around it. So for me, that was Canada, kind of isolated a little bit with the white doves, and then the snake. And to me, the snake was the U.S. that was that we had to deal with. The U.S. was the distractions. The U.S. is the distractions, and they've actually been good trouble because they are forcing Canada to unite in a way that Canada hasn't done for a very, very long time, and also to consider how do we move forward so that we're not so dependent on the big neighbor to the south of us. So I thought that was kind of cool. So then there was, as I'm looking, trying to figure out what was the next card. Okay, I'm pointing to, I'm getting strengthen your gifts. So we have to strengthen our position in the world. And we do that by all the contacts that we have. So think about this. We now have, we've Trudeau's ended his career and was the leader of the G7 for the past year, or I don't know whether it's been a full year yet. He's been had great contacts with the world leaders for 10 years. And some when, because of his connection with his father. But so he's got relationships with had and has relationships with all the world leaders. Now our next liberal leader, who hopefully will be our next elected prime minister, though he is prime minister, will be prime minister soon until someone is elected officially. Carney is also well recognized on the world stage and well respected as an economist, and that's a big deal. He's Harvard educated, Oxford educated, has his master's in economics, all sorts of stuff around economics, but also a master and a doctor of philosophy, which I found really interesting. And so he's quite experienced in what he does. And already he is moving into, I believe, and I posted on my Facebook page, selling USD bonds. And this is a economic move that he's doing to strengthen Canada's position of power. Go to my Facebook page and you'll see it, because I don't know how to properly explain it to you. Anyway, so that's part of strengthening our gifts. And we have a lot of minerals, we have a lot of natural resources that are important to the world. And you know that because Trump wants them. So those natural resources, which should be used, I'm hearing, judiciously and not raping the land of the natural resources, but using them as a benefit without destroying the precious, I'm hearing, pristine land that we live on. And that's really important. And since Carney is from Alberta, his father was a school teacher, or his mother was a school teacher. Anyway, either he's comes from humble beginnings, and he has a love for Canada as well as the same kind of love that Trudeau has for Canada in a different way. So he will be keeping Canada's best interests at heart. So the next one was ask with sincerity. This is the next one. So I'm not sure this is the next one. It went very well along as I was pulling the cards and getting the information when Gail and I were talking, and ask with sincerity. So I'm going to drop that for now and go to the one that's in quietly serve. So Canadians quietly serve in this world for the most part. And Carney will quietly serve. He's not, as I say, he's not a braggart. He's very understated. But he knows his stuff, so he won't be pushed around at all. And he will be quietly serving Canadians, and most Canadians will have no idea to the lengths, the lengths and breadths that he will go to ensure that Canada becomes the force on the world stage that is meant to be. So that is like shine your light. Canadians, he will be sure that Canada's shining its light on the world stage. And I'm hearing a beacon of light, something that the US used to be, and is kind of destroying that. So we'll be able to pick up the torch, as it were, from that empty space. Ask with this sincerity, and what I'm hearing with this is asking questions. And that's what he is good. This is what I'm picking up. Take it or leave it. Entertainment purposes only. He is very good at asking sincere and authentic questions and very good at listening. And part of that is his upbringing, part of that is the education that he's had and the contacts that he's got around the world. He's really well respected in the world of economics, and part of that is the philosophy that he studied. So he's a humble man who um, a lot of men would. He's a humble man. That's what I'm getting. He's a humble man, and so when he asks a question, and that's how he's going to come to the um, solutions, and I'm saying solutions, solutions, because he's willing to ask sincere questions in order to get to that nugget of gold that I'm hearing will be a win-win for everyone involved. For everyone involved. He's also very much green energy, clean, clean green plan, and but he's still very aware that Canada has oil and natural gas energies that are that probably at some point be transitioning from the oil. It's bound to happen. Those tar sands aren't going to last forever. So what happens when their uses, they're horrible on the environment. So he's very aware of all the different transitions that will be going on, and he wants to attract manufacturing and investment into Canada, investment for manufacturing, green energy, um, getting homes built. So he's got a big plan, but he's also, and I've said it a few times already, he's an economist. So he knows how to get this done and where best to do it. And so he's already started that plan by filing to give Canada the ability to sell USD, which is US government bonds. Normally Canada sells Canadian bonds, but and I don't. So go to my Facebook page and Google the whole thing. But it's kind of, as I understand it, a brilliant move. And then a card was forgive and forget. So so I see a dragon in here, and there's a man patting the dragon's head, and there's kind of like a sigh of air coming out of there. And to me, the dragon represents the US, and Canada is patting the snout of the US, and it's like, it's okay, because at some point Trump's not going to be the president of the US anymore, and they will come to their senses. This will not go on forever, and they're doing what that country is, as a collective, is doing what they need to do. And it's very much a cautionary tale for Canada, and I hope that we do the right thing and when it comes to our next election. But meanwhile, this is what I'm getting. These are the energies. I'm just reading the energy right now. So Canada will be going, it's okay. We understand. We still love you. So I don't know it's so much forget. It's forgive. They will forgive. Oh, but I'm hearing they won't forget what happened. Canada will not allow themselves to be put in that position again. But they're saying to the US, it's okay, we can still be friends, but I will not trust you in this one regard easily again. Right? Okay. And then the last card was retreat. And what I got with this was that Canada is going to play a huge part in the G7 and the EU along on the world stage, a huge part on the world stage, and as a way of being. It's the energy of our land and the people that live on it. It carries, and we carry an energy within us. And you can say it's hokey pokey, I don't care. But that's what I'm getting with this. We carry an energy within us. It ripples out in the world. Carney is taking that, and his cabinet and everyone he's associated with, that ripples out in the world as a way to be. So we will not be truly totally like Finland or Norway. We're going to be kind of um, an in between what we are now and what they are now and what they are now. So not strictly like them, but closer to that, but still with a measure of mm, more little teeny. I don't know how to put it. I really don't know how to put it. Sorry, I'm not getting the words for it. So we're going to be closer that way, but not entirely. And it will be a way that is intriguing enough to a lot of other countries to look at because it's not the American way and it's not Finland's way or Norwegian way. It's very much a different way that feels more doable. And so it will ripple out. And so we'll be like the tower of light, like the U.S. has Liberty, Statue of Liberty, supposed, and so Canada will be that for the free world and for those aspiring towards democracy as well. And then at some point there will be a retreat because it's like, okay, we've done our bit. And then it's like the G7 rotates with the leaders, right? Every country has their prime minister or president is the leader of the G7 for a year. So it's that kind of rotation, and the baton gets passed along. And what I'm hearing with this retreat is that Canada does this thing, and then the baton is carried forward to someone else to pick it up and move forward with it in their unique way. And I'm hearing in that way, democracy literally will ripple out around the world. And it will be unique in its expression in some countries because of culture, and that's all right. But there will be a movement towards being more um, empath- um, having more empathy, having more compassion, being more inclusive, making sure that those that are less fortunate get the education they need and the food that they need and the medicine that they need, like all of those basic needs. And then the culture will dictate um, some of how that is played out. So it won't look exactly like Canada or exactly like Finland, but it will have measures of it. And then they will move from that and it will ripple out. So that's what I'm beginning. So there you go. Feel free to leave comments if you think any of this is has given you some pause. I'm kind of, oh, because that's what often happens when I'm listening to other readers. And when I sat down with my friend Gail, and we're just like riffing off each other because we're like, ooh, what about this? What about that? So I hope this gives you something to think about. And I hope you have sweet dreams. And whenever you see this, that you enjoy it, please feel free to share it. And I will be posting it on YouTube as well. Okay. Thanks a lot for listening and tuning in. Whenever you do, wherever you are in the world, know that you're an amazing being and your presence is as important on this world as anyone else's presence. Truly it is. Okay, take care. Bye.